हेलो दोस्तों। तो आज हम लोग आज के लेक्चर में इस सीरीज में विच इज सिनेमा एंड डिसेबिलिटी वी विल सी हाउ दे करेक्टर आर रिप्रेजेंटेड इन सिनेमा थ्रू द हिस्ट्री. So we will taste the history mainly in Hindi cinema or mainly in Bollywood. Then we will see how disabled character are represented in cinema in various way. So in this so it's a I will divide this whole lecture in three part. So this is part one, and then we will test in which genre they are represented, and how Bollywood or Hindi cinema uh, they represented their disability as sometimes dependency, or sometimes as desexualized, or sometimes as a beggar or something, like they can't do anything. So we will go to the history. So let's see what happened in this next. So in the genre of cinema, disability had many type of representation. We have divided mainly into three part. So the first one is disability as worse punishment than death. So we will see how in movies actor or main hero, what we say, uh, test a villain in such a way so that he can disable such person, which is seen as worse than death. So we will see in next slide like how movies are represented as uh, disability as a punishment. And this in second genre, we will see how disability is seen as a dependency. Sometimes they represented as beggar, or a male disabled as a beggar, and the female disabled as a sexual object. So such kind of dependency have been represented in cinema. We will also test how they have represented. And in third part, we will see how disability character represented as an evil character, or they have some maladjustment. I mean, some kind of mischiefs they always create, or they have such a evil character, like wicked, or always say lie or dishonest. Such kind of evil character they have been represented in cinema. So so we, as I have said, we will test the history of Bollywood mainly. So the first movie in India came in 1936, Jeevan Naya, which represented disabled character in Hindi cinema. In this movie, Devika Rani, which is an actress, a main actress in the movie, played as lead woman character, where she belonged to a dancer family, and this is why her husband divorced her for the social reason. Because at that time, or even nowadays, we can see uh, dancer family are looked as a inferior in society. So it's a kind of social dignity, which her husband divorced her for the social reason. So this was the reason why he divorced her. But at the climax, he became blind by accident, and so become a dependent. Then Devika Rani take care him as a nurse who had been divorced by her husband, mainly the hero of the that movie. So the after sometimes it become uh, a patch up type when they met again. So this is what the poster of that movie, Jeevan Naya. So in the first genre of disability, which I had said, it's a worse than punishment disability always seen. So here is two movie we will compare to. It's solely one which is released in 1975 by directed by Ramesh Sippy and casted by Dharmendra, Amitabh Bachchan, and Hema Malini, or Jaya Bachchan. So this is a very famous movie. We all know about this. So how here disability represented? We Gabbar cuts Thakur's hand, and he didn't kill him. Why? Why Gabbar didn't kill Thakur? Even he could at that time, just because to show that disability was punishment than a death. So Gabbar didn't kill Thakur. And at the last scene, when Gabbar was in hand of the Biru, who was going to kill him, but Thakur said no. सांप को पैरों से कुचला जाता है और हाथों से नहीं. So this is a dialogue Thakur said, and Thakur also didn't want to kill Gabbar, but to disable Gabbar. Why? Because he also see disability was punishment. So if you can disable someone, then it's a kind of worse punishment than death. You don't have to kill that person in such a way. So this is how solo movie represented at that time, 1975, disability. The same Kalia, which is casted by at that time angry young man, Amitabh Bachchan. And Amjad Khan was again a villain known as Sahni Seth. So at that time, Kalia also killed Sahni Seth in such a way so that he cuts his hand. He also looked at like disability can be worse than death. So why villain is not like killing, or villain is also behaving in such a way that don't kill that person but to disable that person, because at that time or even nowadays, even to the time we see like इससे अच्छा तो मर ही जाता. So such kind of proverb as a disabled we heard in villages area or in rural area or even in cities which are going to develop. But it's a old scenario. So from where we got such kind of narrative, like disability is worse than disability is worse than death. So it's the hardest punishment which always can be presented even in cinema. So this is what society represented through cinema, and cinema represents society. So this is what we have seen in Bollywood in first part. But in second part we will see how disability is represented as dependency, or in third part we will see how evil character uh, came in the representation of disability. So here we will end the first part of the disability and cinema. So again, thank you for watching this video, and please do subscribe if you think it's useful. So in next part we will see how disability is represented as dependency in Hindi cinema, or mainly in cinema.